This is going to be a problem long term. I'm just telling you. This is not going to be going away. So I'll read the story and then I'll turn it over to you, Scott. Radical Islamist organization Muslim Brotherhood is infiltrating U.S. colleges to transform Western society from within. Reports warn. This is page 11. And Muslim Brotherhood is halfway through its plan to transform Western society from within by covertly embedding itself in college campuses and other institutions across the U.S. The analysis published by Institute of Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy on Wednesday calls on the U.S. to designate the Islam group as a terror group in a bid to thwart its efforts to penetrate all aspects of American life. We are now 50 years into a Brotherhood 100-year plan to entrench themselves into key institutions in the U.S. and other Western societies to determine and destroy our democracy. This is not simply a political movement, but a transnational ideological project that adopts itself to Western systems while working to undermine them. The 200-page report claims to have exposed the group civilization jihad strategy, which involves influence in college campus and other educational institutions, as well as government agencies. Scott, what can you say about this story?
Well, I think that it's absolutely true that people are coming to the United States and other Western countries. I mean, look what's happening in Europe. Look what's happening in England. Look what's happening in Germany and France. But they go and they do have a goal of transforming society. They have a goal of implementing their ideologies. And it's sort of fundamentally at odds with our Western civilization that we've relied upon for thousands of years. It's the underpinning of our country for the last 250 years. Dearborn, I agree with you. This is a problem. Back in September, the mayor of Dearborn, who's Muslim, was yelling at a Christian at a city council meeting. They were naming a street after somebody. The guy goes to the city council meeting and he says, I totally disagree with this. And the mayor says, you're not welcome here.
Yep.
So you got it. The mayor
celebrating. I will put a parade the day you're no longer here.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, is that good for a mayor to be telling someone who had an opinion, you're not welcome here anymore because you have an opinion? And so, look, I write about this somewhat in the book and have been worried about it, but I do think there are groups of people out there, some are foreign and some are domestic, that fundamentally are anti-West. They're anti-Western civilization. Europe has largely succumbed to this. They've somewhat been overrun, and it's affecting their domestic politics. And so we're going to have to decide, as a society, are we going to continue on with Western civilization and what that means, or are we going to allow people to dramatically and fundamentally change our belief systems? And you look on these college campuses, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of foreign students here on visas. They're our guests. And what do they do all day? They go to class? No, they foment anti-Western protests. They foment anti-American views. And people say, oh, it's free speech. We have to allow. Well, okay, they're not citizens. We invited them here so that they can foment hatred and dissent against our own country. Frankly, I like what Rubio is doing on this. I think they're dead right on it.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you look at the data, here's what you find. Vinny, you ready for this?
Go for it.
What do you think was the Muslim population in the U.S. in 1970? Muslim population, Tom, you're good at these types of games. 1970 Muslim population,
or
number of
total
people.
population. Okay. Go ahead, Tom.
Total population in the U.S.
in 1970.
Yeah, what do you think it was in 1970?
Well, what are we, a nation of about 120 million at that time? I know by the 80s we were 160 million, so maybe 500,000, something like that?
I'll say 700,000.
Probably a little less than that, actually.
150,000.
Holy
okay.
God.
Is what the Muslim, and you know what it is today? 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
They have over 30x'd the last 50 years. That's very fast.
That's a lot.
So, by the way, go the next 50 years and 30x what they have today. If you 30x right now, what is the guesstimation, Rob, of what the U.S. population is going to be in 2075? I know it's a long time from now, but say 2075, 400 million?
I believe so.
Well, wait, do we have the birth rate to sustain that?
Well, we're going to get people coming in. That's what they're doing. Immigrants are coming in.
I'll tell you what Elon told me, but go ahead, yeah.
So if we're at 340 right now, birth rate is 1.58, 1.59, lowest in the history of America.
Yep.
2075, we're guesstimated to be 402 million. By the way, if it follows the same pattern, Vinny, 30x what it is today, it's 150 million of that will be Muslims. 150, because we're not having kids. And the way we've structured things with women and the way they look at men and how education is shaping the mindset of a lot of young women and it's my body, my choice. I don't want to have kids. It's about my life, selfish, girl boss, all this stuff. It's not like they want to be mothers. It's not like that's being edified in the proper way. So it means if we go, even if you do 15x is 75 million. This is going to be a very different America, the way America's going. Scott, your thoughts?
A, I totally agree. B, I interviewed Elon Musk for this book, and he was sort of describing his fear about America. You've got $40 trillion debt, devaluation of the currency, a mass migration crisis, low birth rates. I mean, he sees all these things as converging. It's not just the downfall of America. I mean, we are the defenders of Western civilization in this world. It's the downfall of the West to allow yourself to get in such fiscal disrepair, to allow yourself to get in such cultural disrepair. And so, I asked him, why are you here? And he said, I'm trying to find a way not to make America go bankrupt. And then he starts talking about immigration. He starts talking about the mass migration crisis. He starts talking about the birth rate. And he just sees all these macro problems converging, and it could lead to the downfall of America. That's why he got involved in the campaign. It's why he supported Trump. It's why he went to work in the government the way he did. And he was pretty put out with Washington because I said, does anybody here care about this as much as you do? And he said, no, not really. And so
Who did you interview? What was the?
I interviewed him on the 101st day.
On the 101st day. Oh, wow.
And he was still there. He was on the way out.
Yeah.
I interviewed him in the White House. I could tell he was a bit out of shape with what he had discovered in Washington. I did not know he and Trump were going to break over the summer, but I could tell he was pretty frustrated that he didn't find anybody in Washington who shared his level of urgency about some of these issues, particularly the fiscal issues.
So, when you say, oh, I saw it coming a mile away.